Hello everybody. Been a couple of months I guess since I've done any kind of updating here on the homestead. Thought I'd come out today and kind of show you around the vegetable garden, let you kind of see what we got going on here on the homestead. Here in the east garden we've got everything in. Onions are doing well. Tomatoes, we've got a row. It's got about 15 tomato plants in it, spaced about average of 2 feet apart. Also have some peppers and cucumbers and some lettuce and some po beans as well. Have a variety of tomatoes that we planted this year. Everything we planted we grew from seedlings in the greenhouse, started back in January. And they've all taken off and done really well for us. Bell peppers as well were started back in January. Done real well for me. Peppers are sure long to germinate, and seems like they're never going to grow, and once the soil warms up and you get them out here in the garden, they really start taking off. There's some more tomatoes there that I've got in cages. Show you a little bit of a difference in celery. I started this celery in the greenhouse, planted half of it in a large container in the greenhouse, brought the other half out here in the garden, and it's quite a bit of a difference. Let me show you here. The celery here in the greenhouse is about twice the size of what's outside. Climate in here is so much better this time of year. Of course, come June, July, and August, won't be much living in here. Greenhouse has done really well for me. Was able to grow tomatoes up through, I guess, January, and the plants just got so ugly I pulled them out and started some new ones. And here's one of the tomatoes that I've got here growing in the greenhouse now. I also have gotten several of these strawberry towers growing here in the greenhouse. These are made out of, I think it's 4-inch PVC pipe. Here's another tomato, and I've also got some lettuce in a container back behind it, and some more strawberry towers. I've got to start as well on sweet potatoes to get some slips growing for the garden. Here's some Swiss chard that has been in the greenhouse now, I guess, about 6 months. Some onions that were left over from when I put the onions out in the garden. I just come in here and stuck them in this pot with that celery. We sure didn't have to use the stove much this winter. It was such a mild winter that greenhouse never got to a point where I needed to really use it. I have taken the stack out, and I'll be taking the stove out and putting it in storage here pretty quick. And I've got this fan here installed. It gets pretty warm here in the afternoon in the greenhouse now. Here in front of the greenhouse I've got some various herbs, some basil, chives, some more strawberries. Back here along the back fence of the east garden I've got some various plants growing. I've got these 4 tomatoes. These were the first tomatoes I put out. I just put plastic around the cages. Wasn't sure if we were going to have another freeze or frost yet, but we didn't, and I took the plastic off of one last night and didn't get to the other 3, but I'm going to work on that here in a little bit. Here's a row of cucumbers. I planted a variety of cucumbers. Our main crop of them, we like to grow the homemade pickle. We do a lot of canning and all, and we also got some slicing cucumbers to eat fresh with salads and such. And then there's some various lettuces here. I got pretty tired of mowing here between the 2 grapevine rows. What I did this year is I pretty much built a chicken run for my 4 little bannies, and they keep that cleaned out really well for me. Here in our middle garden I've got green beans and black eyes coming up, as well as another row of tomatoes that I've got to get trellised up. I went and got the T-post for them yesterday. And I've got squash and another row of peppers, okra. It's all starting to most of that just starting to come up. And here in the west garden we have our corns just starting to come up. We've also have watermelon cantaloupes planted over here. Let me think if I'm leaving anything out. I talked last year about the chicken tunnel that I built from the coop over to the old greenhouse, and I've extended that now It goes all the way across the back of my property, up this fence, and then the end underneath the kids' trampoline. One thing that does is it gives them plenty of room to get out and really get their exercise and all, but it also keeps me from having to mow. I don't have to mow under that trampoline anymore, which is a blessing. I kind of second guessed myself after I bought it, and but this is a good way to keep me from having to do that. They get exercise, have plenty of room to scratch around and all, and it's kind of fun to watch them. Here's our newest addition to the homestead. We were able to replace all the fruit trees that we lost last year in the flooding. We lost 80% of our fruit trees. Soil was so saturated they just pretty much rotted, roots rotted. But we were able to replace them. We planted 2 new peach, a plum, 2 new apples, apricot I believe, a fig. I know I'm leaving something out, but I planted them back towards the back part of my property. We kind of flow and kind of on a little bit of a slope, so the back part of my property is going to dry out first. Hopefully that'll prevent any floods in the future. We won't have that problem. Well, I hope you enjoyed the update. Be looking forward to showing our progress this year as we get the garden season kicked off. Last year really set us back quite a bit, and to be honest with you, I took it pretty hard. I wasn't real motivated to share anything that was going on. You know, we'd worked so hard getting those fruit trees pruning and producing, and we lost all those, and the garden just didn't produce what it had in years past because of the rain. But this year looks like it's going to be more promising, and look forward to sharing as we go along. But I appreciate you guys watching the video, and y'all have a great day.